Hi, I'm Suzanne McNeil with Design Originals, and today I want to show you some fabulous Christmas ornaments. Look at this Zentangle on top and the beads on each side. Here's a black one. Here's a green one with the Zentangle red on the top. Aren't these just beautiful? And a red one. You can make them in any color. And these were made by Susan and Lucy Meeks, who live in Bel Air, Texas. They're just beautiful. Susan's actually made hundreds of these ornaments. And here's what I start with. These ornaments are available at the stores. And all I need to do is take one of these ornaments, pull on that little wire at the top, and pull the lid right off. And now I'm ready and can put my design, Zentangle design, right on top of this. So I'm going to set this aside while I'm getting ready. So what I used is I used these wonderful flower stamps from Outlines Rubber Stamps. They have several designs and a stays-on ink pad. If you don't have one of these stamps, you know, you could draw your own flower. It's not that hard, about 3.5 inches wide. So I'm just going to take this one that I've already rubber stamped, and I have an 01 micron pen. So I'm just going to do a little bit of tangle work. Going to draw the stem on this little thorns design. And now I'm making spikes on each side. Now I'm using a black pen here, but these micron pens also come in colors, so you could easily do this in red or green if you wanted a little bit more of a Christmas look. So there's one tangle. I might want to color this stem in. Or I could leave it that light color. There's so many variations to tangles. You just start with one tangle and you end up with hundreds of variations. So here's another one of the ones that I use a lot. I'm going to make 3 areas here. And then I'm going to start right here. I'm going to draw 4 or 5 arcs. I stop before I get to the next bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. I stopped before I got to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4 arcs. 1, 2, 3, 4 arcs. 1, 2. So this is one of my favorite tangles. It goes quite fast and looks just beautiful, I think. And now I'm just going to turn this a bit and try another tangle here. I like this one with the circles and the bubbles. I just draw different size circles. Usually they're not touching. And then I just start with a wavy line. When I get to a circle, I stop. And now I draw the same wavy line all the way up. I just stop when I get to the circles and continue on the other side. That's also a very simple tangle. So these ornaments are just beautiful. I love making them for family and friends. So I'm almost through with 3 of my petals. Just keep repeating those concentric lines. And that makes them look like they go under the circles. And now I can continue working around. I might want to repeat some of these tangles, or I might want to create new tangles in each one of these petals. And here are some samples of ones that I've already finished. You can see all of these beautiful tangles This one has all the same tangle. This one's different tangles. Oh, well, it's just endless. I can just keep on going forever. So I just find the easiest way is to cut toward the center. Make an easy round there. Cut toward the center. And then I can sneak my scissors in here and just make that little tiny cut across the tip. So I'm going to do that again. Cut toward the center, toward the center. And what cutting toward the center does is it makes it so much easier to get a smooth line. So I would continue that all the way around. And then the last step is I just come in here and round off the outside edge. Okay, and then I would have my beautiful piece. And then after that, I'm going to take this, and I have a little punch that is 5/8 or 3/4 inch. I just slip this in here, center it, and make that punch close to the center. Now my punch is just a smidge small, so I'm just going to go in here and make little tiny cuts. I like to hold my scissors steady, and I do like to have good scissors here that'll cut close to the ends. And I'm just making little tiny cuts around here, which will allow this to expand right around the center of my decorative ball. So now I'll need 2 of these. I normally do them in different patterns. So now I want to show you how to do the beaded center. So I've chosen to use some pre-beaded strips. You could go ahead and bead each one separately, and if you did that, if you had 6 petals, you'd do 6 beads. I'm going to make some donuts here, and then I'll show you how to attach those to the donuts. Now here I have a 1 1/4 inch punch. I have some heavy cardstock. I'll need 2 donuts. Now to punch the hole in the center, I can use this same punch. To center it, I need to do it upside down. I hold it shut, turn it over, and punch my center. So there I have a donut. And again, I want to go around the inside, just making about 1/8 to 1/16 inch cuts around the center to allow that to expand. So I'll work all around that. And then the next step is, I have a needle and thread. So I've already threaded my needle. I'm going to take some of the fringe. I like to put the beads going away from me rather than going toward me. I'm going to take my needle, just start here on the edge of the fringe, and do a whip stitch. Need to hold those beads out of the way underneath because the thread wants to get wrapped around them. But I normally do 2 stitches between each of the beaded fringes. Then I can pull that out of the way with my fingers. Straighten that up around the edge. And continue doing that all around the edge of the donut. That way that beaded fringe will stay in that nice round pattern and fit the ball correctly. Okay, got it? So I would just simply continue working all the way around until it looks like this. So here's one that I've just finished sewing. So I want to get my donut, a second donut. I like to use Elmer's glue, not school glue, Elmer's glue. Put a little bit of glue there. Turn that over on top of that fabric side and hold that down for just a few minutes. And what that does is it just flattens out that fabric so that it will be nice and flat when you put your ball together. Okay, just have to hold it down just for a few minutes, and there it is. Then you would want to let it dry. So now I'm going to take my ball. I'm going to, I think I didn't cut this on the top edge here. So let me just go back and be sure that's cut all the way through, so that it will expand as it goes around the ball. And I'm going to fit that around the ball. There we go. And then I'm going to take and put 2 of these around the ball. I like this one, it's one of my favorites. I'm going to fit and expand that around the ball. And then for the final touch, I put my lid back on, and that holds everything in place. Susan Meeks actually has made hundreds of these ornaments. She sells them at her school and bazaars for $25 to $50 each, depending on the quality. See how beautiful those beads are hanging down? And another clever thing is that, let's just say some horrible accident happens and your beaded ball breaks, but you can see you can just pop the lid off and put a new ball right underneath. So these will last forever. Aren't they beautiful? So now I'm just all ready for Christmas. I have all my Christmas balls done. I can either give them as gifts or hang them on my own tree. These beaded pieces are just beautiful, and the Zentangle toppers. And here's a card made out of exactly the same flowers, and they're layered on this card. So I got the ideas from this book, Zentangle 3. You know, all of my books have basically 4 new tangles in the back for you to learn, and inspiration inside. Here's a whole section on those flowers, showing how to do those on the card. And then in the remainder of the book, there are lots of new tangles. Like, let's just say you looked at this tangle and thought, oh, that's so pretty, but how do I get started? It looks difficult. But when you look at the step outs, you see it's actually a very simple process if you just go one line at a time, one stroke at a time. So Zentangle's so much fun. I hope you'll enjoy making your Christmas ornaments this season.